Hey everyone, it's Melanie with GuideStar Accounting. Just wanted to talk about real life for a minute and then give you a quick QuickBooks tip at the end. So I'm sure many of you are trying to balance work with virtual school or homeschooling. It's something that we've just started this year. We started a virtual academy for my son who is 7. And this is his setup back here. So we've got his computer with dual screens, and of course he's into Roblox, so we've got all that paraphernalia. I'm sure that pajamas, well, this isn't pajamas, but not work attire is probably most people's preferred apparel for the day. I find myself going to my comfortable t-shirts and jeans to do work. And then, of course, I've got my outfits if I need to dress up for a video or have a video call with a client. And on rare occasions, I do go out and meet with clients. So it's just funny talking to other people and hearing that we have a lot in common. We're all trying to balance the work and virtual school lifestyle it used to be in the past. Pre-COVID, you would take your children to school in the morning, you drop them off, they're in school all day long, and that's your prime work time. It's quiet, you get a lot done. You go pick them up and make dinner, play, do family things, maybe do some more work if you're self-employed. That doesn't ever stop. And then get them ready for bed, and then it starts over the next day, and then you've got your weekends. Well, everything's blurred right now. So post-COVID, or while we're going through COVID, what our schedules are looking like pretty much now is for virtual school, you log in 5 times a day. Each session is about 30 to 45 minutes long, and then you get nice long breaks. And trying to find that balance, because our offices are together, has been a little bit hard. We've got 3 people working from home. There's more use on the internet than there has been in the past, so it doesn't function as fast as it used to, and sometimes we can drop. We've learned that we have to be respectful of each other's times, and when we're in meetings and when our microphones are unmuted and we have to talk. These things have been wonderful, wireless headsets, so we can put that on, put some music on, and drown out the background while the other person's having their meeting and they're talking. We bought a green screen it's green screen on both sides, so it can go between us. Just put it right between the 2 offices, and it gives us a great background. If I'm holding a meeting or he does his YouTube videos, we have a nice background behind us, and we don't necessarily see each other. But I didn't put it on here for this. You'll see it in the future, because I wanted to show people what our real office looks like during the COVID times. And that's pretty much, we've got a dog bed over here. We've got a cat sleeping on a box. They're very comfortable. And then he's over here playing his games. I've got my desk at things that we didn't have to have prior to COVID times. We all have these lights so that when we're doing videos, we have the right lighting. We've got the green screens. We've got, all the setup that we normally wouldn't have to do. The benefits of post-COVID or during COVID is that it has allowed us to really look at what's important. And I think for a lot of the businesses I've been talking to, they've been working more efficiently because they had to figure out how to reinvent themselves and how to work more efficiently. I've been going through that as well over the past few months, and it's been wonderful. So I think there are a lot of benefits coming out of this. I think we're getting closer to each other. We're talking about things we've not talked about before. I'm able to have some amazing conversations with clients and really help them in ways I wasn't able to help them with before. They weren't in a position to, everybody was in this do mode. We've got to do this and do this and do this. And now everybody's in a let's analyze things mode, and let's kind of look at what's going on and see what we can do. So that is, I would love for you to share with me some challenges that you're having during these COVID times and with the work virtual school balance. And I would love to see not just the challenges, but what have you done to work through those challenges? What's some things that are working for you? For us, it's green screens and wireless headsets. This weekend, we're getting ready to move my son up into another room in the house, so he's got more of a quiet room, so we all have our space. This will still be down here so that when he's not in school, he can come down here and get on his computer and play. So anyway, that's some things that we've done. So what are your challenges and what have you done to overcome those challenges, and share them with us so that other people can learn from what has helped you. Okay, so let's get into the QuickBooks tip right now. I have a sample company open. This won't have all the functionality you will have with your version of QuickBooks. It's a little bit different because what I'm going to show you is the bank feed. Now this is very important for people to have. If you have not already and you have QuickBooks Online, go ahead and link your checking account, your savings account, money market accounts, credit cards, loans. This is going to save you a ton of time in the long run from manually entering everything in. So what you would do is you would click on link account. Now, again, this is a sample file, so when I click here, it's probably not going to do it. But what you will have when you click on yours is the screen will pop up and it'll have the most common bank accounts as an example: Wells Fargo, BB&T, Bank of America, PayPal, Chase. It'll have a couple of them listed in here. If you don't bank at one of those banks that's listed, there'll be a search box for you to type in the bank that you bank at or the credit card company or whatever. Type it in, it'll pull up, then you'll click on the icon or click on the name, and it will walk you through some steps to enter in your username and password. And as soon as you do that, it connects you to your banking institution or whoever your credit cards are through. And then once it's connected, you'll see this little symbol up at the top that shows that these are connected. And it will pull these in. Some it pulls in every night, some pulls in once a week. It just depends on the bank. Each one is different. If you wanted to pull in, you can just click this update button here. And as you can see, it will start going. It logs into the bank and it'll pull over your transactions so you can always see what your bank balance is. So this pulls straight from your bank. Now, depending on the bank, there are some that if a transaction is in pending, it won't pull over. Some pendings do, some pendings don't. I've seen both. And then this shows you what's in QuickBooks. Now you have to categorize all these transactions to get them into QuickBooks. So they're kind of it's in a holding pattern. They're in the separate space within QuickBooks until you code them. And when you code them, then they go into your profit and loss or your balance sheet, depending on where you put them. What I like about this, and it's funny because I've been working with QuickBooks for about 20 years now. And when they first came out with QuickBooks Online and they had bank feeds, everybody was like, this is great, I'm going to link this, this is going to be awesome. But it wasn't that great because it wasn't pulling things over correctly. And it just made QuickBooks a mess. And so we had a lot of cleanup for people that link their bank feeds. Now, QuickBooks has come a long way since they did that. I think they did that maybe 9 or 10 years ago, maybe, but they've come a long way. I like the bank feed now, and I'm a proponent of the bank feed. I think it's great. So when this finishes spinning, which it should have finished by now because it's not really going to pull anything over, it will pull your transactions in here. And you can create rules. We'll go over that another time. The rules will be up in here. And let's just say you purchase fuel from Sheetz, and you go to Sheetz a lot, or BP, or Exxon, or Shell. Then you can create a rule that says every time you see the word Shell, code that to fuel. Maybe you pay rent, and your rent is $1,300 a month for where you have your business. You can say, you can either say, you can list the payee who you pay for rent. If that comes through on the bank feed, then code that to rent. Or you can say, if you see this person or this business and $1,300 a month, code that to rent. You can code utilities. You can say, let's say you pay Duke Energy. Now that's going to change every month. So you can say for all transactions that say Duke Energy, because when you pull them over from the bank account, it'll tell you PG&E. Maybe that's who your utilities are from. And you can say, create a rule and say, every time you see PG&E, code that to electricity. Maybe that's a subcategory under utilities. So it takes a little while to when I'm doing setting up someone's QuickBooks, it just takes a little while to figure out all the transactions. Here's one, a rental. I see that that's done 3 times, so that can probably be put in, and a rule can be created. Now you can have it automatically come into QuickBooks, or you can have it say I want to match it. So it'll put it in here. It won't automatically code it. It will let you review it, because sometimes that can be wrong. And an example I can give you is a bank account. Let's say you've got a loan at BB&T and you pay the loan $1,000 a month. Well, part of that loan is going to be interest, so you're going to have to break that out. So you can't necessarily just say, oh, throw that all in. Well, and maybe you could, and then you'll just have to go back and break out the interest. That's a possibility. But now let's say you're banking at BB&T and you've got the loans going and everything's great. You're fine with it pulling it over there, and you just go in that account once a month and you break it out, or once a quarter, or however often you go in and break out the interest. That's going to work. But what happens when you get an overdraft fee? That also comes from BB&T. You don't want that going into the loan account. So that's why manual feeds are great, to catch things like that, because there are times where a vendor can have multiple purposes in your profit and loss in your balance sheet. So still create the rule, but don't let it automatically enter it, so that you can match it. You can review it before it's put in, and you can bulk things in. I mean, if all these were right, and I do say, well, we'll go over that more in the future, I could, select them all, and I could come over here and say accept, and they're gone. So you can bulk things in like that if they're right. Well, we'll go over that later. But my main thing today is just saying it is so worth it to link your bank account and look at your transactions at least once a week, and go in there and put them where they need to be. Create rules. It takes a little bit of time, but you'll get it so streamlined that it shouldn't take you long to do your books at all. And my goal is to take a bookkeeping process that could take someone 8 hours a month. And they're like, I don't have 8 hours a month, but maybe they're a very simple company, but it's taking 8 hours a month because when they get their bank statements, they're entering everything in, and it's just a headache. They don't really know what they're doing. I can create this process for them where it will take them 30 minutes a month. That's a huge time saver. So BankFeed allows that to happen. So I did want to show y'all how to link your accounts. Again, go to link account, type in your account if it doesn't show up, fill in the username and password, follow the prompts, and it will link it. Now, I have seen a couple times, depending on your bank, some are really picky, and you'll get a little error message. And it's just, sometimes you'll have to log in 2 or 3 times until it says, okay, this really is you. We'll take the security feature off. Sometimes you'll have to answer security questions, but I'm telling you, it is worth it. Oh, one more thing. This pencil icon over here. Let's say you have to change your password. Click on here, and you would say edit sign-in information, or you can edit your account information if your bank account number has changed. You would want to go in here and edit these. And again, I don't think it'll let me do it because this is a very secure feature in QuickBooks, and so I can't really, and it's not tied to an actual bank account because it's a sample file. So reach out to me if you have any questions or you need help setting up your bank feeds. I can be reached at 919-271-3018, or reach out to me, mpaul@guidestaraccounting.com. I look forward to talking with y'all later and giving you another tip next week. Hope y'all have a wonderful weekend.